Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to On the Spot Motorsports. I'm Mitchell Gunter, along with Alexa Gatlin. And tonight we've got a wonderful show. We've got plenty of guests that are coming on tonight. We're going to be talking about the 352 Shootout and all the classes that are involved. And then there's a special class that's added this year, the No Time Truck class, and we are thrilled to have it. We're also still looking for sponsors both for the 352 and also for the No Time Truck class. So if you are interested in maybe being one of those sponsors, we will give you the telephone numbers to Derek Putnam and Grant Guthrie. And without further ado, we're going to bring everybody on the screen. Good afternoon, everyone.
How you doing?
Doing great. Well, we've got a great event that's coming up October the 29th at Gainesville Raceway. And Derek, he has been doing this for quite some time now. I think this is the 7th annual that's coming up. Is that correct, Derek?
Yes, sir.
And I tell you, you've done a great job putting it together. And it just keeps on growing and growing over the years. To get things started, Derek, I'd like to ask you, how did the 352 get started in the first place?
Well, racers like to bench race, and it grew out of that. Basically, we had somebody throw down and say they had the fastest street car in the 352 area code. And in a matter of 6 weeks, we put together a 13-car shootout class at Gainesville during a Friday night test and tune. We got enough sponsors and enough racer money to give away $3,000. And every year we usually add at least one class, sometimes two. And it's really grown, as you mentioned, to the point where Grant contacted me in April this year and talked about wanting to bring the truck class in. And I think it's going to just add one more great part to the 352 shootout.
Well, Derek, can you tell us all the different types of classes that will be on the track this year?
Sure. So the classes that we plan to have at the moment include a small tire streetcar class. That's the class we started with. Then we run two small tire 1/8 mile classes that are for race cars. They're Outlaw 29-inch slick and 315 radial. We also run a true stock suspension 28-inch slick 275 radial class. We run a big tire class, a stick shift class, and then we run 3 index-based classes heads up on quarter mile. One is an 850 class called Limited Street. One is a 10 flat class called Real Street. And there's an 1150 class called Daily Driver. We also have kind of a catch-all for drag racers and street cars called Open Comp. I know you've participated in that. And then we added in the No Time Truck class. And we're probably going to add at least one more class, possibly two. I'm looking at either a second stick shift class, a heavyweight class for vehicles that are 4,000 pounds and heavier. You know, a lot of late model stuff obviously would qualify for that because they feel like they don't have a place to participate with as heavy as some late model muscle cars are. And then we've also possibly looked at doing something for front wheel drive. The response on that has been sporadic. So I think at this point I'm leaning towards one or possibly both of the first two.
Okay.
So what made you add the No Time Truck class? Like, how did that come about?
I think Grant would probably be the better person to explain that because it's his idea, so he should get all the credit on that, and he can better explain it.
Well, we've run it a couple of times. I helped put on one at Ducks Race 2 there, and then David Dunwoody, he has a race too, and Mark DeWalt. he has a race, and I just thought that we needed to have one in Gainesville. We have 8 trucks, and these 8 trucks are the fastest trucks in the world. I'm not going to say any times, but you know they run almost 200 mile an hour in the 8th mile.
And I had been looking at doing something similar to that, you know, because if you look at a lot of bigger events, they usually have some kind of either an exhibition class or something that is really kind of the draw, so to speak. And you immediately can think of, say, Big Daddy Don Garlitz because he's in Ocala, or you can think of Jet Cars, or possibly getting something like Josh Hart, like a Top Fuel car to come out. But when Grant came to me with the 8 truck shootout, and I saw some of the video coverage of it from Ducks Race in February, it was an instant yes. I think it'll work out great. Corey and the Gainesville staff are really looking forward to the challenge because these are really quick trucks, and it's going to put everything on Gainesville's track to the test, but I think it'll work out well.
Derek, do you think this is actually going to help bring more people out to the event and fill up the stands?
Absolutely. That was probably the biggest thing that Grant and I agreed on, is the fact that there's a little bit of everything in the shootout now. I'm very proud to say that, and we've had a lot of racer and spectator support, but obviously for us to go to the next level, you need something like what Grant is bringing to the equation, and I think that is going to get a pretty decent amount of additional spectators to come out and watch it, because you're only going to see it, what, Grant, probably 4 times a year at a couple different locations?
4 or 5 times a year, that's it.
Yep.
If you've never watched those trucks run, you got to see it. It's amazing how fast those trucks are. For the size and how they're built and shaped and everything, it's unbelievable. When you watch the videos of them, watch those trucks on the top end at almost 200, it's incredible.
Yeah, actually, since you bring that up, I think that, Mitchell, what a great thing to do, and we'll put it on both the 352 shootout page, and I'll send you a link to it. 1320 Video actually did a pretty extensive video on a couple different trucks from the shootout and Ducks Race in February.
Yes.
And again, I think it's something that, similar to the reason that I run index classes and streetcar-based classes, it's the kind of thing that the spectators can relate to. It's the kind of thing they can understand, and it gets them excited and they want to come out and see it. Who doesn't like seeing trucks run fast, especially as fast as what Grant's bringing?
And I tell you what, you can go on YouTube and you can look up, Grant's truck, Warpath, and the other competitors that they race. And I tell you what, they put on a great show. That's what I've been telling everybody. You have to go out there and sit in the stands and see it for yourself. It's a whole lot better in person than it is on video. Just trying to encourage more people to come out and participate and watch a sport that we all love.
No, absolutely. And it's interesting that you say it that way, because with everybody that is in this chat right now, I feel like we're all doing that for that reason, is we want to be able to make a difference. We want to further the sport. We're all participating in some way to be able to make a difference, so to speak, whether that's in the people that we help tune, in the case of Mr. Harrell with all the things that he does with engines and tuning and so forth. And all of us being racers or having a racing related background, we're obviously not doing this, just because we have nothing better to do with our time. We obviously have a deep rooted issue of being able to go fast and being around fast cars.
Alexa, you got a question?
Oh yeah. So Grant, you have the truck Warpath. Are you going to be racing that in the event? And could you tell us a little more?
Yeah, it'll be there for sure. Okay. A guy named Lyle Barnett drives it. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Of course, everybody has. I'm just being funny. And then we got Pete. He tunes it. Pete actually tunes Ray Morton's truck too, and my truck. and he's picking up Jeff Kurtz, going to tune his truck. So he's going to be out there tuning 3 trucks.
Wow.
And it's but yeah, we'll be there with it.
Okay. So what's he gonna do if one of them ends up in the or all of them ends up in the semifinals, and then 2 of them end up in the finals? What's he gonna do then?
You haven't watched the 1320 video, have you?
Yeah, I was about to say.
That Joker. Yeah, you need to watch that video. It was Warpath and Maximus in the final with him tuning both trucks, and it was a driver's race. You have to see it. It's been watched over and over and over and over.
I'll have to go watch it.
We was able to nudge out Ray by what? About 8 inches, wasn't it, Pete? 8 or 9 inches, something like that.
Probably something like that. Yeah. It was,
I tell you what, it was a good old-fashioned pedal stomping race. I mean, it was great. It had everything in it from the starting line to the 8th mile. I mean, it was excellent.
it was a.
If you watch the fence line, people almost jumped over the fence after that pass. I mean, when them trucks come up to the starting line, I'm not just saying it because I got a truck, but you want to see the crowd. They will line the fence up when the trucks come up there. Mm. And that final, it's incredible. The people were standing on top of the fence and jumping up and down and hollering and carrying on.
Grant, can you tell us how everything worked out? How were you able to get both Lyle and Pete all together to work on that truck?
Well, let me tell you this. My truck was at a shop, and then the motor needed to come out and go back to Abby's Performance in South Carolina. And so I called up Robert and I said, I don't know, there's some guy named Lyle. I didn't know who Lyle was. I said, there's some guy named Lyle. He's going to come from Modern and bring you the motor. And he goes, oh, okay. He goes, do you know who that is? And I said, no, I don't know who he is. Like that. And he goes, Grant, that's the guy that drives the tooth jerker car. I go, what? And I said, he works there? And he goes, yeah. So he says, you really should talk to him about driving the truck. So when I called back up there at Modern and I asked to talk, or no, I didn't call it there. I messaged Lyle. We were friends on Facebook, but you know how it is. You just don't really know who somebody is. And I asked him, I said, well, Robert said something about you would want to drive the truck. He goes, heck yeah, I'll drive that truck. It was up there where he was working at, and it worked out and everything. And then Pete tuning the truck. Let me say this. That truck went from the shop to the track to that race without being tested or anything. I didn't even have a tuner there. And I called up Lyle. I said, well, I got the truck here. I'm going to start walking around and look for a tuner. I got a couple of guys in mind. He goes, no, don't worry about that. I got that handle. I said, okay. I had no idea it was Pete. I didn't really know Pete until then. So, yeah, he tuned the truck.
It's just like all the pieces just fell together, and y'all know y'all got great chemistry and can work really well with each other.
That's what everybody said. They said the whole team. I mean, everybody on the team. And that's what we are as a team. It ain't just one person or another. I mean, Keith Howes and Jason Archer and, you know, all of them. Andy Pinkerton, you know, he builds the motors. And just everybody involved.
Lexa, do you have a question?
Oh, he's pretty much answered most of my questions.
Well, Pete, you know, can you give us
I'll be right back. I got to let Shiloh out.
what happens, on a daily basis of you trying to get ready, tuning these vehicles? How much work actually goes into it?
Well, yeah, that kind of depends. In some cases, you kind of start from scratch, and maybe the motor hasn't even been fired up. So you kind of got to start from nothing and build it all the way up. And the same with the vehicle. Sometimes the vehicle is something that's tested and sorted out, and sometimes it's not. So that just depends kind of from job to job. It's nice when you can, like in the case of Grant's truck, the truck was already a running truck more or less, and there may be some changes that need to be made, but for the most part, the truck was it's got a lot of good parts, and it's all bolted together. So in his case, it was a matter of showing up, and I'd never tuned it before, so we kind of started over on a few things. But over the course of in the first weekend that we tuned it, we went to the finals, but we kind of just in a few passes managed to put it together enough to make it happen, But like I say, it really just depends from situation to situation. Sometimes it's a struggle, and sometimes it's not.
We've got some questions from some viewers. Jerry wants to know any coal burning trucks at this one, which I know he's talking about diesels. Is there any diesels that are signed up?
No coal burners.
Okay. And Mark, he says, what trucks are signed up for the race so far?
Didn't you have some pictures or something of some of the trucks?
Yes, I do. We can run through those and we can talk about it.
Yeah, let's do that, and then that way you'll get that question.
All right, we'll start with this one right here. I think we know.
I think we know who that one is. That's the Warpath, Team Warpath. Old Chris Cadotto from Michigan in the Yankee Brick. He's fast, real fast. Ray Morton and Maximus out of Georgia. Pete tunes that truck too.
Okay.
That is, oh my gosh, don't tell me. He's from Florida, Eric Edwards. That's a Pro Charger truck. He's out of Florida. CG Knight with the old pulpwood truck out of Georgia. That's CG Knight's other truck out of Georgia. Is Ken. That's Eddie Lyer. He's out of Texas. He'll be here. That's Jeff Kurtz. He's out of Texas. He'll be here.
All right. Hey, guess who just joined in?
That Jeff Kurtz. That's the other truck that Pete's tuning, and Milton working with and putting it all together.
Well, we want to thank Lyle for taking some time out of his busy schedule and joining us this afternoon. Of course, Lyle, he can drive anything that's got wheels on it and got a steering wheel behind it.
I try, man. I've got a little guy in my lap here, so if he loses his mind, I apologize.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Well, since you're on, Lyle, who do you see as a great competitor and driver that you have to face in the no-time truck class?
There's several, man. I don't know that there are really any ducks. Ray Morton's a great driver. Another HED fielded entry. Chris Cadotto, as much as we like to bicker and banter with each other, he's a great racer, and that truck's fast. There's several, man. When you get 8 of the fastest trucks in the country together, it's anybody's ball game. We just, we came out swinging, and old Warpath has ran pretty good. So I do think we're the truck to beat right now, and I think we've proved that, especially with our start to 2022. So we'll just have to see, man. We've got a target on our back, and there will be more talked about if we get beat than if we continue to deliver the beatings.
Right.
So we'll just have to see what happens.
I think some of them don't even know that we, in two or 3 weeks after Lights Out, we went and won Truck Wars.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, we went faster at Truck Wars than we did at Lights Out. We, overall the truck ran well at Lights Out, but it did not run as good as as even Pete and I had hoped. But we went to Truck Wars and it really made some strides, man. So we were pretty pleased with that.
Isn't that a wonderful sound? It's almost as good as hearing a motor run.
Yeah, except for when Melissa and I hear it at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
What do y'all do?
That's not-
Turns getting up or what?
Well, she's we're trying the breastfeeding thing, so unfortunately for her, I'm not able to help in that department. I wish I could. I do wish I could, but I can't. So,
Drag racing,
do I now?
I said drag racing.
Yeah.
Lyle, you make it look so easy, but how hard is it to jump and race different vehicles? Of course, you got Red Velvet, which is your pro mod car that you race for Elite. You got Beer Money that you grudge race with and doing very well with that. And then jumping in the truck. You make it look so easy, like you never even skip a beat.
Man, you just you find a routine. You figure out in whichever respective vehicle you're driving how to implement your routine in that car and never get too comfortable in anything. You got to be comfortable in whatever you're in, but don't kind of jail yourself into that. So, I guess I feel like it's easy. Even though in reality I know it's not. I've been very fortunate to have been given some top-notch equipment throughout my entire career, and when you have confidence in the car or truck that you're driving, it makes it pretty easy, and I've got good people in my corner. Anytime we go to the starting line, we've got something that can win any given round, and that makes my job a lot easier, so
I can imagine going to the starting line without David.
He doesn't pro mod race with me much.
No,
but,
I'm talking about with that truck.
Oh yeah, but it definitely there's value in having confidence in what you're driving. There's for instance, there's some pro stock drivers out there right now who aren't very confident in what they're driving, and that shows throughout the performance of the car and the driver. If you're confident when you go up to the starting line, you're at an advantage over whoever you're sitting beside. So I always have confidence in anything I'm in, and that is kudos to my team. Pete tunes pretty much anything I drive with the exception of the pro mod, and I've got a good crew that comes with me otherwise. So that makes my job very easy. If I can go up there and let go of the button on time and keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard, I think we got a pretty good shot.
Right.
So, is there any chance that Beer Money will be making an appearance in the 352 shootout?
I guess you know what, anything's possible. I don't honestly, just being real with the price of fuel and whatnot, it's without there being some money up for grabs for that thing to win, it's hard for us to take it anywhere. So if I can find a no prep, if I can find a no prep race between Charlotte and Gainesville, Florida, and Pete and I can whip in there and whip some ass real quick, then we might bring it. But if it's just t-shirt sales, Beer Money doesn't need to be there to do that. So we'll just sell t-shirts.
Right. Derek, before we get back in a little bit more no time truck class, I want to talk about some of the other classes. I actually have some pictures of those cars that will also be competing. And I know you're pretty good with names and know most of these drivers pretty well. But we're going to start off with this truck and tell everyone how it got its name.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm worried that you're going to throw something at me I didn't know. Okay, so that is the Dirt Dauber. It's based out of a local shop here in Gainesville, Rollins Automotive, and it got its name because when they pulled it up and started working on it, 3 Dirt Dauber wasp nests dropped out of the back of it, and we started joking about it. And because it's a no-time grudge truck, almost every grudge vehicle seems to have a name, so it just stuck. Okay, so those are a couple of cars in the big tire class. Far lane is Pete Rugas. Near lane is Jackie Bennett, who is a 2-time winner. He also runs the car in Top Sportsman in NHRA divisional and national events.
Yeah, and all these pictures that you're seeing is from Hard Target. They do a wonderful job taking photos at the 352. Very, very dedicated.
Yeah, it's Chris and Jennifer Legg from Hard Target. They've been on board with us since our second year in 2017. And like you said, they took over 1,600 pictures last year, so they are definitely a very big part of this. Now, that is Rick Prospero in the car called the Green Mamba. That's a twin-turbo big block RX-7. That car has won Hot Rod Drag Week twice. It just won Sick Week in February this year, and he was a 2-class winner last year with that car. He won the street tire class, and he also won the Outlaw 29 315 class.
That's a car that Pete has tuned on before.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I tuned it originally. Last time I talked to him, I don't think he'd even changed anything.
Yeah, I don't think he had either.
It's been a while now.
Now, motorcycles,
at least 2 or 3 years.
Are they allowed to run open comp?
They are. They actually they got together and talked to me about it last year. And since a lot of big money bracket races allow motorcycles to run, and the NHRA is okay with them doing it on the 8th mile standard, we decided to go ahead and do it. We had 8 of them show up. That particular one is Jeremy Scrappy Davis. He's a local Gainesville runner. That is Mark Roberts. He is also another NHRA divisional and national top sportsman runner. I believe he has runner-up in his Corvette at least once in the big tire class.
And we may have a grudge race against him.
Interesting.
That'd be nice to see, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
News to me. I might need to tighten the belts up a little bit for that one.
So that is Soccer Mom. That is a joint venture car between Kevin Smith of KSR Performance and Fabrication, the car's owner, Kimber Jones, and an ex-drag radial champion, Will Stevenson. They've actually all 3 drove that car. I believe Will Stevenson is the only one who has won in it, but Kevin Smith and Kimber Jones have both runner-up in it. That 69 Chevelle is Kyle Stokes. It's a beautiful small tire car. I've got a couple of much bigger wheelie shots of that car from the previous year when he came in here thinking Gainesville was going to be loose and it wasn't going to hook up right. And he had the front end set up pretty loose, and so he aired it out pretty solid.
Is that car from Jacksonville?
I forget where Kyle is from, but I want to say, yeah, he's from Florida somewhere. I just can't remember where off the top of my head.
I think Melvin Horn works on that car, but does the suspension and stuff on it, I think.
Okay. That is John Dwayne. He is a multi-time winner at Gainesville and is actually, I believe, in the top 5 in points in Pro ET right now. That's his little small block Camaro. Always does pretty good wheel stands, and he's a tough competitor. I've gotten beaten by him quite a few times.
Me too. But yeah.
Luckily, I don't run over there, so I run in the sportsman class. I tell you what, I think this event's going to be extremely great for the spectators to come out and watch. And I appreciate it every year. I know we had talked in the past before you actually done the open comp class that I begged you and begged you. I said, come on, let's do an open comp class. And, it's one of those things that's it's kind of scary. It's a new adventure and you don't know what the car count is going to be. But fortunately, a lot of people came out and they entered to run the open comp. It was quite a large amount of cars. And I think that's going to continue.
Yeah, with the gentlemen that are here with us as well as Alexa, but I'd say that probably Grant and Lyle have a little bit better understanding of the kind of money that goes into some people's programs and how much it costs to put an event on and so forth. It's one of those deals where, as a racer, I'd love to pay out every dime I possibly could, and it's just until the turnout is there, you're really just taking a risk. And thankfully, like you said, the open comp contingent has shown up and been a very big part of it. That's why we're paying them $3,000 to win this year. And Grant obviously has a great, deal going with the truck deal. So that's the reason that he can pay out what he gets. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he had his field already of 8 vehicles done within, 48 hours, Grant? You had it?
About more like about 45 minutes.
Wow.
So I think it should be, like I said before, this is the kind of thing where, being somebody that's raced at Gainesville for almost 30 years, Gainesville has always had the stigma of, we run a divisional race there, we run the Gator Nationals there, and that's it. Everything else is test and tune and bracket racing. And I think that with both Mike Urich, who was the track manager who allowed me to start doing this in 2016, as well as our current manager, Jody Kennedy, they're really looking at the possibility of wanting to bring out new stuff. And if that kind of open-ended attitude was not there, we would not be able to do it. And with the racer and the spectator support, we also wouldn't be able to do it. So it's, like you said, it's really kind of a joint venture of everybody coming together. And I'm glad that we caught the attention of people like Grant and Lyle and Pete to be able to come down and participate. I just think it's great for all sides. It furthers our sport. It gets more people interested out to see it. And with some of the stuff that we've got in the works that we're going to announce in the next month, we may, bring more future racers to Gainesville as well as other tracks, because they'll see what everybody's doing and they might want to get involved as well.
You're exactly right, Derek. Lyle, to get back to you real quick, I know I'm kind of jumping around, but I'm trying to get everybody pretty much the same amount of time on here. Can you tell our viewers what's next on your schedule on your racing adventure and pro mod or grudge racing?
Pete is underneath his dyno shed now, and we've got what was an ultra street car, Mark Rogers, little mod motor single turbo car, tuning it right now. So we've got a pretty big weekend at home. So where Pete's sitting is about 0.7 of a mile from Mooresville Dragway. And we've got a big a prep event, 704 Outlaws Friday night, and then a no prep event on Saturday. So I'll be running beer money Saturday. I think Biggin's going to drive the Missile. The Swedes, who won the Unlimited class in Sick Week, are in town. They're going to run the Corvette in Big Tire. We've got a street car that we're going to run in the streetcar class, and then Mark will run 704 Outlaws on Friday night. So we've got Chad Reynolds just flying in from Texas. Jason Smith from TBM Brakes is driving up. So we have a full slate this weekend at Mooresville Dragway. So it's a prep, no prep weekend. I'm not real sure how that's going to work out. Probably really good for the prep guys, and us no prep guys are probably going to have a pretty good racetrack. But you got to race on what you're given. So we'll see how it goes.
Is there a chance that's going to be live streamed by Chad?
I'm sure that there'll be some Facebook live streaming going on. Robert Smith that puts that whole deal on with Pennywise Racing will probably live stream it, I'm sure. There won't be anything like no Motor Mania or anything like that, but you will be able to watch the race through some social media platform somewhere, and I'll share that through my respective social media platforms throughout the weekend, and you'll be able to tune in.
I'll tell you what, you share it to me, I'll share it to our On the Spot Motorsports, and
Sweet.
other people can watch it as well. I
Yep.
want to thank Derek and also Jody Kennedy for giving us the opportunity to come out to Gainesville Raceway and live stream. I've been live streaming out there the whole ET bracket racing season so far this year, and just humbled to have the chance to live stream the 352 shootout. Right now, we'll be live streaming it from the tower, but we are working on some things to have 2 cameras at least set up. So we're showing the starting line and also showing the traps at the same time. So those who can't make it have the ability to still watch it, especially like family members that can't travel with their husbands or the rest of their family down to Gainesville. They can keep up with their loved ones. And I want to thank Derek for allowing us to have that opportunity.
No, absolutely, man. Again, it goes back to what we said before about being able to, spread the word, infect more people in the drag racing community, allow more people to see the sport that we love. So,
right. And I tell you today, I watch Wes Buck's show every time he's on, and he tries to promote it that way as well. And and some other people were on there saying, we all have to work together to keep things going. So I don't mind mentioning, hey, if you got a chance to check out the Wes Buck show, check out Joe Costello and what he's got going. Check out Lyle and Chad Reynolds when they have the Beer and Beards thing going on. I can't get enough of racing. That's just me. And I know there's a lot of other people out there that feels the same way. And hey, if you can't catch those shows live, you can always go the next day to work. You can put it on your phone, put the earbuds in your ears, and listen to the talk. And just because people take the time and have these shows and talk and show their interest, bigger people up the ladder is listening, and that's how we get certain rules changed. Hopefully, more to the liking than the disliking. But that's how we do it, is by people listening to the spectators and the fans and also the racers.
Yep,
I agree. Definitely. It's going to be a great show. I'm thankful, like you said, to have this opportunity. I have an 8:00 appointment, so unfortunately I got to jump. But thank you so much for the invite. Glad to be able to share space with Alexa and you and the guys underneath me. As far as I look forward to having the No Time Truck class out. I think it's going to be a great deal. Obviously, we're enthused to have big name people like Lyle and Grant and Pete on board to be able to be part of it. And I can't wait. It's only 3.5 months away, man. We're getting there.
Hey, Derek, before you step off, what sponsors do you have, marketing partners for the 352 shootout, real quick?
Well, my main one I want to put out there is Gainesville Towing Service. They've been our presenting sponsor for the last 2 years. The class sponsors and everything would take up too much time for me to name them. So they always get promoted and marketed when we do social media as well as at the event. So they will all be named within the next 2 to 4 weeks. But, again, just like what Grant had said earlier and what you brought up, obviously we're always looking for more people because in the case of Grant and the case of me, that money goes right back to the racers. We want to be able to pay out every dime we possibly can.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, Derek. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks back out there at Gainesville. And hopefully I won't run her up this coming weekend. Hopefully I'll go ahead and turn on that last winning light.
Sounds like a plan. Again, thank you so much for the invite, allowing me to be part of this. I do appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Well, there goes Derek. Pete, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what you do at your business.
Okay, well, I do too many things. So
That's true.
We build engines here. Engine builder. So we machine and build engines, primarily drag racing oriented engines. And then I tune a lot of stuff, and really that's kind of a multifaceted thing in itself, because some of it's just the power production side of tuning, and then I do a lot of racetrack tuning, which is power management, which is kind of a totally separate thing in my mind, at least. But so a little bit of everything, I guess you could say.
All right. Lyle, I got David Rogers, and he says, Lyle, remember, I was supposed to drive beer money at some point.
Yeah, I think there were some stipulations to that. I'm going to have to go back in my notes and remember what those were. It's not just as easy as showing up with your helmet, David. So, you got to pass. It's like passing a roadside sobriety test. Like you gotta run you through the ropes when you get there, and just like the left wings, I'll probably find some way to fail you. So, we'll leave it at that.
Lexa,
But
do you have any questions?
before we move on, though,
Sure.
you can follow most, if not all, but most of Pete's shenanigans on his YouTube channel. Good time to plug that.
Yeah,
real good at doing stuff.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys I was actually a TV producer as well. So
Yes.
Go to YouTube.
Well, I seen you playing the saxophone on the other day, and I couldn't believe it.
Right. Well, that's some
That
of
was
the
in his
stuff.
younger years.
Right. Yeah. I'm kind of retired from that nowadays.
Alexa, you got a question?
All my questions have been answered. No.
Are you sure?
I guess I'll ask another question if you run beer money. Just kidding.
Go ahead. Fire away.
Can I race beer money?
Again, there's stipulations to that. I have to run you through this test at the racetrack, and it's pretty rigorous. I would suggest upping your workout program, breathing treatments. You need to brush up on your calculus. I don't even know calculus, but I'm gonna test you on it. Physics, really need to know that. And a little bit about building bridges and stuff. So I'm gonna test you on all that.
Took 3 years.
Grant didn't pass. That's why I drive the truck.
There you go.
Alexa, how fast is y'all's Camaro that you race?
It's usually around 88 miles per hour, so it really is that fast in my opinion. The other I blew up in Rockingham 2 years ago, a lot faster, but right now we have a motor, so it's a little slow.
Okay.
Still a race car though. That's all that matters.
That's true. That's true.
That's all that matters.
It's better to have a bad day at the track than a good day at work.
Oh yeah, it's consistent though.
I don't know. Grant may disagree.
Depends on how expensive it gets. A bad day at the track. We'll plug that in there.
Yeah, you have no idea. You just hemorrhage money. Hemorrhage money. I want to shout out to some of these 3 people here that's sponsoring the truck class so far.
Oh, definitely.
We're looking for more, but we have Miracle Towing and Service, Automotive Service, and he's from McClenny and Stark. Yep, that's him there. And then we have, I don't know if you have his, Mark DeWalt with Trailer Security Products. Yep, that's
Look
him.
at him.
Yeah, y'all buy some stuff from these people now. And then we have Harry Glass.
I got you covered, Grant.
Yeah, call Gordon over there, and he'll hook you up. He's the one that did all the molds, and I still have all the molds to Warpath. He built all the molds and did all the carbon fiber for that truck.
You forgot to put Chris Cadado Racing up there. He's just sponsoring too.
Oh, he just sponsored us.
Yeah,
oh
that's
yeah,
all
yeah,
he's doing.
yeah. That's right.
He's
sponsoring us.
He's just donating to the pot.
Exactly.
Chris,
and
we thank
a few
you.
People that helped us with the truck, Pro Torque converters, of course. Lyle just got Precision on board with the with the truck. Michael with Hemi Parts King. You need any spark plugs or anything for a Hemi, man, that go see him. NRC Bob. Skippy's Performance. Abby's Performance. We have 2 engine people for that truck. Holly EFI. TBM Brakes. Mickey Thompson. 1320 Videos. Jeremy at Brad Anderson. And let's see, I think that was all I had wrote down. And then I wanted to do a little shout out for David Dunwoody. His truck, he has Truck Wars, and it's in October the 8th. You need to make it there. We have an 8 truck shootout there, paying $12,000 to win. And
it'll be the Warpath show with 7 others.
What's
making
that?
An attempt. So it'll be the Warpath show with like 7 others making an attempt. That's really what
There
it
you
is.
go. There you go. You
When
know
you're talking
me,
about
man.
Truck Wars.
I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah, but I like to win.
As long as I've been messing with that truck.
I'm a
I
winner.
don't know how long that truck's been around. It just ain't been up to a track.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to help Derek and help you, Grant, as much as possible to spread the word and hopefully get some more sponsors to come on board. There's a couple of other people, that we're still talking to. I don't want to mention.
I just don't want to mention any names until they write me the check, to put in. But 3 real possibilities.
Oh, and while we're in Gainesville, Pete and I are available for autograph sessions, and Pete gives some mean neck tattoos. Just wanted to throw that out there.
I'll bring
permanent
my
marker, spray paint, or we got a second-hand tattoo gun. We got a second-hand tattoo gun from the local prison. So pick your poison.
And we'll use Ace Hardware paint in it.
Yeah, $10. Get you a neck tattoo.
Yep.
Hey, use some of that satin clear over the top of it.
Yeah.
If you want it, that's an additional $2 though. So $12 neck tattoo with clear.
I think Lyle's going to bring some of his beer money shirts to have available there, and of course Warpath. And I tell you, the t-shirt sales helps immensely keeping those trucks up. Keeping it going.
You read my mind, because that's where I was going to go next. I was going to ask Lyle if he was going to bring some of those shirts down with him.
Absolutely, man.
And sell them as well. And I tell you, if anything y'all need, feel free to reach me at any time. Y'all know my number, and y'all know I'll jump right on it and do what I can. One of those sponsors that I'm trying to get for the No Time Truck Class had interest in sponsoring Lyle at the Gator Nationals, and we just couldn't make it happen in 4 days. You're kind of pretty much up to you're up against the wall at that point. And so maybe I can get them to come out, have Lyle meet them, do a little marketing, and maybe something to come out of it to help him at the Gator Nationals next year.
Yeah, whoever comes over and whoever sponsors this No Time Pro Truck race, if it goes to 20,000, it's getting paid back to the racers. I mean, if it goes past what we posted, I'm just going to add it on the top.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that we get enough of sponsors that we can raise up the pot a little bit higher, so Lyle can actually bring beer money out as well. And I understand if the money's not there, you just can't. You can't do it. There's a lot of money involved.
If the pot's big enough, Pete and I can upgrade our tattoo gun.
There you
so
go.
We're not spreading prison diseases. We can really step our game up. We can hire Alexa to come and promote our tattoo business. It's going to be good.
Hey, I do have a
Alexa,
question.
you really need to go over and look at that 1320 video.
I will.
Send me a friend request and look. It's on my page, and also Team Warpath. Go over and like it. Everybody that's watching, go over to Team Warpath Facebook page, and it's got a lot of videos. I've been putting reels on there lately. I learned how to do that. And stop.
Grant just upgraded from a flip phone like last week.
I'm
we're proud of him.
Step above,
Good job.
a step ahead of JJ. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, my dad had to do the same thing. He had a flip phone all this time, and they said, "Hey, you're no longer going to be able to get service on that flip phone. You're going to have to upgrade." You know, he was the same way. He
Right.
loved that flip phone, and now he's got a Facebook page and all kinds of stuff. He's learning how to use it.
That's my dad. My dad did the same thing. He just graduated. His wife made him get she actually went and got him an iPhone and then showed him how to use it. Now he's on Facebook. I'm sure he's on here watching right now. Hey, Dad.
I tell you what, we're getting ready to wind down here. Does anybody have any last comments they want to make?
Yeah, HED is real good at doing stuff. We win a lot. We're winners. We give great neck tattoos. We are secondhand T-shirt salesmen.
You know, hey, I had him wrote down to say that, but he's right there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, good job, Grant. I know I'm filling in for you. Your note list. You need better glasses, bifocals.
Exactly.
Go to the optometrist tomorrow.
That's one thing I thought about. I reached out to Courtney Anders, which, you know, she's part of Flow Racing now.
Yep.
And, you know, try to put a filler out there and see if that's something that Flow Racing may also be interested in sending someone down, taking photos and everything like that. I haven't heard back from her, which, you know, I know she's really busy working with PDRA.
Well, that and obviously our thoughts and prayers to the Freeman family. They lost Royce Sr. this week, which is Richard Freeman, who owns Elite Motorsports and obviously my pro mod in our program. It's his dad, and he was in a motorcycle accident on Saturday just after lunch. And unfortunately, we lost him. So thoughts and prayers to the Freeman family.
Definitely, Lyle. What a great gentleman he was. I always enjoyed talking with him and, you know, talking about the old days of pro stock when he raced. You know, he had so many stories to tell, and you wanted to just sit there and listen all day. Just a remarkable person. He enjoyed the donuts that we brought out there to Gainesville at the Gator National. He was the first one to get his hand in that donut box, believe it or not, before anybody else got in there.
I believe that.
He's truly going to be missed by so many, and he touched so many people's life. He's a legend of the pro stock sport. That's the way I look at it.
Yep, for sure. Well, guys, I've got a baby losing its mind over there, so I'm gonna go help the wife. But I appreciate you having me on. Pete, it's good to see you, and I just saw you an hour ago, so see you tomorrow. Yeah. Grant,
all right, buddy.
I saw enough of you for this month, so see you next year. Alexa, good to see you.
All right, I'll see you.
Mitchell,
Good
always
seeing you,
good
Lyle.
to see you, and I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys later.
All right, you take care. All right, there goes Lyle and Pete. Grant, I appreciate you again taking the time coming on and discussing No Time Truck Class, and it's going to be a great adventure. And I think now I hope that we can get these sponsors, you know, that we grab these sponsors in to do this, and hopefully that it'd be a regular thing for the No Time Truck Class being part of the 352 shootout.
Right. Yeah, it will. It will. But anyway, I appreciate you having me on and the rest of the people, and I think it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, and if you're late coming on, just watching this now, feel free to go back on Facebook. You can watch it, or you can go to your smart TV, pop in On the Spot Motorsports with David Rogers. It will come up there. And also, we live stream races at Gainesville Raceway every ET bracket race. Of course, we're going to be there for the 352 shootout. There's another racing event coming up, No One Fights Alone. Most of that money is going to be also sent to St. Jude's Hospital, to help these kids out with cancer. What a great event that is. And in early December, we're going to have the Horsepower Hustle. That will be coming to Gainesville. And it's like grudge racing on motorcycles, 2-day event. And we're just happy to be part of it and live stream these events for everybody.
Cool. Don't forget to go over and check out the Team Warpath page.
Exactly. Go to Team Warpath on Facebook, like their page, watch the videos, keep up what's going on with the truck. Also, if you can, when Lyle goes live with Chad Reynolds, Beer and Beards, that's always a great show to watch. Let's keep drag racing alive. And I tell you what, someone's actually doing that right now. Terry McMillan has purchased Bunker Hill Dragway up there, I think in Indiana. I think that's where that track's at. He is now the owner. We have so many, like I always talk, we got so many tracks that are closing, and people are now starting to step up and save those tracks. So my hat's off to Terry McMillan for doing that. He's a really good guy, a great family man, and I enjoy watching the videos because he'll post the videos of his son running the junior dragsters and stuff. Another generation drag racer coming up, and I tell you, it's a great thing. I just want to remind our viewers also, we have On the Spot with David Rogers on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. They talk about news and political updates and what's going on in the world. Very interesting at time. They have a 3-person panel. Every once in a while, I will hop on with them. And of course, tonight we're live streaming on the On the Spot Motorsports page, On the Spot with David Rogers page, and our YouTube page. And please like and follow us. And until next time, we'll see you probably next Wednesday night. But after next Wednesday night show, we will be moving our shows to Thursday nights, if that fixes, if that's okay with Alexa and her schedule, if that works out better for her. And we're going to have a special guest on, and that is Josette Roach. She raced out at Gainesville Raceway. She started out in the juniors, went over to Super Pro, and now she's racing jet dragsters. So we're going to talk to her and ask her all about the changes that she had to make through her racing career, from jumping from one seat to the other, and now running a jet dragster over 200. I think they're good like 250 miles an hour. So we're looking forward to that. Until next time, take care. Grant, appreciate it again. And really looking forward to it. I also want to mention one more our sponsors real quick. Again, Miracle Automotive and Towing. Don't pray for a miracle. Call Miracle at 904-368-1114. And they are now an official sponsor of On the Spot Motorsports with David Rogers. And also On the Spot Lawn Maintenance, full service lawn care for you. Hey, he takes care of Columbia County, Bradford, Union, parts of Clay County. So if you need your lawn mowed, hey, call 904-966-1633. And of course, don't forget about these other sponsors that are sponsoring the No Time Truck class. Hey, if you need something for your trailer to secure it, give them a call. Trailer Security Products. And also, if you're looking for some body panels for your car, don't forget about Harry Glass, located up in Jacksonville, Florida. Been in business for a long time.
Long time.
They used to make the bodies for the funny cars. So they were in that business. They probably still do make some bodies for the alcohol dragsters, probably nostalgia dragsters, and all different types of things. Hey, go visit them on Facebook. Go to their webpage and check them out. Also, don't forget about that 352 shootout that we were just talking about. It's going to be a great event. You don't want to miss it. And, of course, if you just can't make it out, it will be live streamed. So you'll just have to jump on and go to On the Spot Motorsports with David Rogers. Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and we will see you next Wednesday night. Good night, everyone.
All right.